Here we have the all-new 2024 Buick Envista. Now this Envista comes in the preferred trim level in moonstone gray metallic. And then we have ebony with slate accented cloth and leatherette interior. The powertrain consists of a 1.2 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. And that's made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. And this is meant to pretty much be the replacement for the Buick Encore. And then you can go up to the Encore GX from this Envista. But coming around to the front end here, I love the styling, and it reminds me of the concept car I saw at the Chicago Auto Show last year. This front end here, I absolutely love it. Now we get LED daytime running lights along with LED headlamps. And again, the styling just so fantastic. We get that new Buick emblem there, which has grown on me rather quickly. I didn't really feel it at first, but I love it now. Now as we come around to the wheels here, these are gonna be 17-inch aluminum. And with this being the preferred trim, they're not the best looking wheel in my opinion, but I'm sure you can upgrade them and get something that looks very nice. But still fine. We get passive keyless entry on the front 2 doors. Power door lock controls are here. And then we do have our side mirrors we can control, turn those on or off, and then adjust either side. We do have blind spot monitors in these as well. A rear window lock. We have one touch down on all 4 windows. And then we do get the power lift gate with one of the packages that comes on this one. We can set that to max, 3/4 or off, and we can just hit that button to open and shut it. Bottle holder here, little mat pocket. Headlamp controls are here. There's the release for the hood. We get a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our driver's seat. We do get power with power lumbar support, which is nice. And I love the design of the actual seats. I love the kind of 3 different colors. We have a little blue in the insert there, and then we have the gray and the black there, and just a great look. But a huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for letting me review this Envista today. I'll leave a link below in the description. Now this sticker is right at $26,515. Now we do get the Convenience 1 package along with the Advanced Safety package and the Convenience 2 package, which includes quite a bit. But with the back tinted glass, it's kind of hard to see the sticker, so I'm just gonna hop in here. I'll try to remember to put the options in the actual description. Now it is kind of dark back here because it's basically about to come a monsoon outside, but let me see if I can turn these lights on. Maybe that'll help. So pretty good leg room. I have the seat up front adjusted for my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. Now I will say with the slanted roof, my head is barely touching the back here, but it's almost touching the back. It's actually not touching the back, so it's pretty impressive. And there's a USB-C, USB-A charge port there, storage here, seat back pocket on the side here. Then we don't have a middle seat that folds down. But let me keep this on, and then maybe you can see that a little better. We could probably hang a plastic hanger or 2 metal hanger hooks there. Let's go ahead and make our way out. Of course, the child lock is on, so I'll be able to demonstrate that. So unlock, lock there. And there's a bottle holder in here, so that should be on either side. Then fuel filler is here. Now I will say, I tested the 1.2 liter out in the tracks, and it actually was pretty quick. Now we do get 28 miles per gallon city, 32 highway with a front wheel drive. But I love the slanted roof. Now with the design being so almost futuristic, I love that. That's kind of what helps take up the headroom there, but not bad at all. But since we do have the power lift gate, we can just hit the button down there. You'll see that's right there. But decent storage back here. I love that we have the pocket on the side. We can keep stuff that we want in the trunk, but we don't want it to roll around. And then we do have some tie down hooks here if we ever need those. And then our spare is right underneath there. So very simple back space here. But honestly, this sticker's at, again, $26,515. And for what you get, it's actually a pretty impressive set of features you get, in my opinion. And then we can fold these flat and run longer objects through, and then just make sure the seat belt's out the way, and we can lock that back into place pretty easily. I don't have to give it extra oomph near the end, which I like. And then here's the front passenger seat, and that's about as far as we can get it. So this one doesn't fold flat like in some of the older Encores. And there's the glove compartment there. I think that was the old, I know the Terrains still do it, where that front seat will fold flat. You can run objects all the way from the back, basically to where the glove compartment is. But I mean, the front end of this is just so futuristic. I think that's gonna be a big selling point with just the overall styling of the Envista. So there's that 1.2 turbo 3-cylinder. And this is a newer engine, but this did come on the Trailblazer on the 21s, I believe. So GM has a little history here with making these engines, so it's not like it's brand new. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So leather wrap steering wheel, and ooh, I love the flat bottom. Look at that. That's impressive. We have that logo there. There's the horn, not the best, but it works. And there's the heated steering wheel toggle here. Now over here to the screen, we do get AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. And on top of that, we do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. And then we have dual zone, or single zone, excuse me, automatic climate controls. I'm gonna turn that on so you can just check that out. So when we put the auto on, that'll adjust the fan speed to get you as quickly as possible to the desired temperature. And then you can also turn it off by just adjusting that fan speed back and then choosing the direction. But it's pretty simple, but I like that it goes with almost instantaneously with the controls down here. And then we do have the 3-stage heated front seats. And then we can toggle that auto mode down here as well. But I like how the vents are. I like they're integrated kind of right in there, and it goes kind of towards your body, and it's not too low or too high. But over here, we can control the traction control and the stability control by hitting that middle emblem there, or symbol, excuse me. And then we do have gauges here, which is nice to have up. So the fuel economy, we can toggle between that, the gauges, and then the maintenance. So it'll show us oil life, tire pressure, and then the engine air filter. And then to manage your phones, just go in there, add phone. It walks you right through it on the screen here. Pretty easy. And I'm very impressed with these new screens because it kind of reminds me of the Hondas, some of the newer Hondas. It's pretty simple, but it looks good and it's easy to find what you need. And then volumes here, we can mute there. And then the hazards are right there. And I like that it flashes here as well, so that's illuminated. A backup camera, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And with it being kind of slanted, you really get that close HD view as you get really close to about to hit something. And then as you kind of go out, it gets a little more grainy, but this is really just to make sure you don't back into anything. Now down here, there is a 12-volt outlet along with the USB-C, USB-A charge duo. I love having that. And then the wireless charging pad here. I just really love how this one is optioned out in general. The auto stop toggles here, lane keep assist with lane departures here. And this does come with adaptive cruise, but I'll show you that in a minute. Now for the 6-speed, grab the lever behind. And by the way, I love the design of this lever. Reverse, neutral, drive, and then low gear. And you can manually shift right there. And it'll show you at the bottom in the middle what gear you're in. And then we have an electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down and disengage. Bottle holders there, storage. Center console cubby space. It's a decent size for this subcompact. And up here, OnStar, and then we can set the lights to doors, and that's what they look like when they're on. Again, I apologize for it being so dark outside, so it's kind of making it darker in here. Let's see what this is. So we do have that vanity mirror, not bad. At least it does have lights. And then over here, we do have the cruise controls. We can turn that on and off, adjust speed, cancel, the gap adjust for the adaptive cruise and the forward collision alert. Toggle that right there. And then voice recognition, mute button. And here we can scroll through depending on where we are. So if I hit this audio button, it'll pull up the sources and I can scroll through those. And then if I hit this phone button, when they're connected, you'll have options there as well. Now behind the steering wheel, there's left stalk, blinkers, auto high beam toggles here, and then we can flash the high beams on and off and then just flash them there. And then over here, windshield wiper controls. We do get the rain sense wipers with this one. And then that's one time auto, low, high, and then we can adjust the auto sensitivity here and then push up for the front wiper fluid. Now with this one being more of a slanted roof line in the back, you don't have the option for the rear wiper, which you don't really need. That's kind of one of the perks of having that. And then we can go through track lists or presets when they're set up here. And then volume, we can go up and down there. And I do love having the digital display here. It is a nice touch in my opinion. And then you can actually hit this button here and you can pull up the different gauges and you can change what's on here. So if you want to just see that, and then again, hold it for a little bit, let off, and it'll just give you different views, which is pretty interesting. And there's our push button start. Finally, here are the key fobs with remote start. And again, having that nice new emblem there does make it look a bit better, in my opinion. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2024 Buick Envista out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Envista, surprisingly, and I tested out at tracks a couple of days ago, so I knew this already, but the 1.2 Turbo 3 is actually a pretty potent engine in terms of just accelerating out of a corner, accelerating from a stop. And then the more you give it, the more you can really feel the turbo do its thing. But I forgot which view this is on the gauge cluster. I'm pretty impressed by it. I like seeing the kind of circular tachometer there and then being able to see the speed in big numbers there. So we'll give it a little throttle here. And I want to thank Buick, I want to thank General Motors, honestly, for making this vehicle with a traditional 6-speed automatic. And I said this in the tracks review, it's just nice to have something that just a regular transmission. Nothing against CVTs, they're just not my thing. And this just goes to show you can get just as good fuel economy with a 6-speed automatic just by turbocharging a 3-cylinder instead of a 4-cylinder. So we're still getting 32 miles per gallon EPA estimate on the highway. And it's just nice having the adaptive cruise, the lane keeping system here. And it just kind of pings you back and forth. It's not a lane centering assistance, but it gets the job done. And road noise is minimal. And I love the ride quality for a $26,000 vehicle or $27,000 vehicle. Now, of course, it doesn't ride like an Enclave, but it rides like you would want a subcompact Buick to ride. I like the brake pedal feel, and I actually really like the gas pedal feel, just having that feeling of boost right there without having to change drive modes or anything like that. It pulls just right. We'll give it a little pull here. And again, it's pretty quick, and these actually can last you a minute if you don't keep your foot in them. And even if you kind of, like the few pulls I've given, won't be bad, just accelerating every so often. I don't recommend doing that all the time, but these aren't gonna blow up in 20,000 miles like a lot of people say. And the few that do, because that'll happen with any vehicle, you're good under warranty. And then you do get a lifetime powertrain warranty with this from several dealerships, but especially here at Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro, that's offered. And it's not an extra charge or anything, it just comes with it. But I do like this as a competitor in the subcompact market. This just feels more like a small SUV as opposed to a subcompact SUV, if that makes sense. And I like that Chevrolet or GM did that with the Trax and then this Envista here. Still plenty of space, but it drives like a small SUV. Let me say a very small SUV. And overall, just the cabin acoustics in here are nice. Love the infotainment system. I love the gauge cluster. The gauge is down here just for the single zone AC controls. And then having the flat bottom steering wheel is just a nice touch, and it feels so nice with this leather on it. Love having the emblem there. My biggest complaint, honestly, about this car is the horn. It just sounds so wimpy, but there's very little chance that you will use it much, so not really a big deal there. But I'm pretty impressed overall, again, by the vehicle. Definitely make sure you check one out if you're interested in something like this, especially for this price point. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Buick Envista, and this one is in the preferred trim level.